John Rees, Counterfire and Stop the War. You told that David Cameron should not laugh about Nigeria in terms of corruption because there are many members of parliament of his party who are under investigation. How many?
Well, there's more than 20, as I understand it, from the Channel 4 investigation by Michael Crick. Now, that's more than David Cameron's parliamentary majority. If all of those cases are found to be fraudulent, he could be without a majority in the House of Commons, and there could be a huge number of elections that have to be rerun. So he's really not in a position to start poking fun at other countries about political corruption. In particular, he's not in a position to criticise Afghanistan, because it's this country that fought a war in Afghanistan and that has put in power every one of the post-conflict governments in Afghanistan. So if they're corrupt, the people who put them in power are the people responsible for it.
And about Nigeria, there are also many important British companies who are operating there.
Yes, including oil companies, of course, because the country is enormously rich as an oil resource, and that's one of the reasons why there's so much corruption. So again, if we're going to point the finger, maybe it would be a good idea if some British companies examined what they're doing with those authorities in Nigeria.
What's the plan you are working to oust the Tories? Because you have in mind something. What?
Well, we think that this government is actually an illegitimate government. It's barely won a general election. It won it on 36% of the vote, only 25% of those eligible to vote, and it's carrying through a bunch of policies which it didn't tell the electorate about, most notably austerity policies, in its manifesto. So this is an illegitimate government, and I believe that the majority of people in this country want to see it gone.
What should the Labour Party do in this situation?
Well, I think the Labour Party has done the right thing. It's elected a left-wing leader. The right wing of the Labour Party should shut up and let the left-wing leader get on with the mandate that he's been given by the representatives of the Labour Party in an election. He's saying the right things. He's saying that he's opposed to austerity, and I think that's a very popular message. He's saying he's opposed to foreign wars and to the Trident nuclear missile system, and I think that's a very popular message. His problem is that his parliamentary Labour Party don't agree with him, but they're the ones who are out of step with the mass of the people in this country and not the leader.
About the foreign policy, there is another country which is under the spotlight about human rights, and not only. I'm talking about Saudi Arabia, and the British government has wants to keep very close ties with Saudi Arabia.
Yes, indeed, it's a very close ally, and that's because it's the major market for British arms companies. The most arms that are produced in this country are sold to Saudi Arabia. You'll remember that when the Saudi king died last year, every Union Jack on every government building in this country was flown at half-mast. Now, to be honest, to be doing that, to be paying honour to a feudal and entirely undemocratic regime is a stain on this country's foreign policy.